76 of Cullman, will be at 2 p.m. tomorrow at Emmaus Baptist Church. Steve Bryan and G.T. Robertson will officiate. Interment will be in Emmaus Cemetery. Moss service is directing. Visitation will be 5 to 9 p.m. today at the church. Ms. Melda Ponder Ragsdale, age 94 of Cullman, passed away at home on Saturday afternoon. The funeral will be at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel tomorrow. Visitation will be from 10 to 11 a.m. with the service beginning at 11 a.m. Funeral services for Mary Jane Boyke Weissend will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow at Sacred Heart Catholic Church. Father Patrick Egan officiating. Interment in Catholic Cemetery. Moss service is directing. Ms. Weissend passed away on Sunday at her home. Visitation will be from 4:30 until 9 p.m. tonight at the funeral home. A rosary will be conducted at 7:30 p.m. Funeral services for Roy Kelly, age 74 of Cullman, are incomplete and will be announced later by Cullman Funeral Home. Mr. Kelly died on Sunday. Funeral services for Roy Scott of North Carolina are incomplete and will be announced later by Cullman Funeral Home. Mr. Scott passed away on Sunday. Funeral services for Jerry Moss, age 63 of Georgia, will be at 10:30 this morning at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel. Burial in Mount Olive Cemetery in Waterloo. Cullman Funeral Home directing. Ms. Moss passed away on Thursday. Visitation will be 9 to 10:30 a.m. tomorrow at the funeral home. Funeral services for Ali Gober, age 85 of Cullman, will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel. Dr. Edwin Hayes officiating. Interment in Cullman Memory Gardens. Cullman Funeral Home is directing. Mr. Gober passed away on Sunday. Funeral services for William Houston Doug Taylor, age 77 of Hansville, will be at 2 p.m. today at Good Hope Baptist Church. Dr. Ralph Andrews and Reverend Howard Wolf Jr. officiating. Interment in Shelton Grove Cemetery. The body will lie in state from 1 to 2 p.m. Cullman Funeral Homes directing. Mr. Taylor passed away on Saturday at his residence. And those are our obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Tuesday, the 26th day of March, and it's still winter.
It sure is. It snowed yesterday.
Yes,
Did you see it snowing?
It may snow again today.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I had just put away all of my winter clothes, too. I swap out my closets and stuff. I just did it this weekend, but oh well, okay.
Another few days.
That's right.
Let's see what's going to happen. Our weather's brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet, located on Cherokee Avenue. Here's the weather almanac for the 26th of March. The average high temperature is 70.
I don't think
Not in the 40s, it's 70. The average low was 41. That was our high yesterday.
Yes.
The record high 86 in 2007. The record low the year before that, 21 degrees in 2006. Sunset this afternoon at 4 minutes after 7. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:41. The satellite picture shows snow, and I noticed that in Washington, D.C., they have snow, and the Cherry Blossom Festival has been postponed. Now, they're saying it's because the weather has caused there's no blossoms.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the sequester.
Yes, they can't afford it.
I think, yes, they cannot afford blossoms this year.
Right.
So, okay, meanwhile, back to Coleman. Here's the weather forecast. Sunny and breezy again today, a slight chance of snow flurries. High of 41. Cloudy tonight, a low near 29. Sunny tomorrow, warming up all the way to 49. But we do have a warming trend. 56 on Thursday, 63 Friday, 61 Saturday, Easter Sunday morning, 65, by the first of next week, 67, and maybe into the 70s the middle of next week.
Okay.
Maybe.
So maybe we'll be back to normal, everything, yeah. And I was been watching the forecast because I've got something I'm doing outdoors on Saturday, and it said 40% chance. Well, now it says, I think, 20%. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll probably have a good weekend.
Yeah, I hope so.
Easter weekend, you always need to have nice weather.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Who's our Facebook friend for today?
Well, let's see. Her name is Betty Tucker, and I guess that's her family with her. I think her son's kind of acting goofy, which is okay for that age. And she likes Carnival Cruises and Freedom Works. So we're glad she was our friend. And if you want to be a friend, all you got to do is just like us on Facebook, Channel 2, spell out the number 2, Coleman.
Okay, who's come to see us today?
Miss Sonia Norris is here today, and she and I have been working together on several different little things over at Westminster, but she is actually an employee of Omega Hospice. She is their bereavement coordinator, but she also does a lot of stuff with Alzheimer's and is very knowledgeable about the disease, and I thought it would be very interesting to talk to her. I know a lot of people nowadays that I talk to are having memory issues, and they're just, I can't remember people's names, I can't remember this, I can't remember that. Am I getting Alzheimer's? I mean, seriously, a lot of people,
yes.
People have been telling me that kind of thing. And so I think it's kind of good idea to kind of look at the 10 warning signs that people have that really, are warning signs of Alzheimer's. And so we're going to talk about that and talk a little bit about maybe, what do you do when you have a family member? That has Alzheimer's or dementia, and how do you care for them, and so forth and so on. But anyway, Sonia Norris is here, and she is the bereavement coordinator with Omega Hospice.
George Spear is also here. He'll have news and commentary right after this.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room, the best room, your kitchen. We're devoted to it, and you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
At Premier Bank, we take pride in serving our community. We respect our customers, and we've won awards for our ethical conduct. We're motivated to do all we can for you, and we're interested in your banking needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Time for news and comment on this Tuesday morning. Well, Haskell Mayor Kenneth Nail is happy this morning, and that's because after nearly 2 years of trying to get some funds from FEMA and the state, they got a $120,000 check last week from the state and from FEMA for this April 27th disaster. And so that's going to repay them and some of the expenses they had to pull out of pocket to try to get things back on their feet again. he said, I'm just glad it's over. Don't we wish that that would be the case for the rest of time? But it's oftentimes not the case. Some areas more prone to storms than others are. And I think anywhere east of Smith Lake is prone to it, basically. For some reason that lake always seems to be an accelerator whenever things come up from the southwest and head in our direction. As you probably know, the folks in District 11 will be out voting today. Today is voting day for you'll vote in this Republican primary, this runoff between Danny Aldridge and Randall Shedd. Now, whoever wins will face off against Kelly Evans, the Democrat, come May the 7th to be particular. But I'm not seeing much out of Kelly Evans. We understand that she doesn't have to politic till after the Republican primary, the runoff's done, but I've not seen the first sign, at least not, and of course I don't live in her district, but around this area I've not seen anything. And it makes you wonder just how serious, and there will always be one of those people in most races. They'll say, the weight of my name will carry me. And that's the last thing that happens, because you have to get name recognition. You have to know where you're standing. I mean, you've got Danny Aldridge saying that he is the true conservative, and you got Randall Shedd, who's putting out spending a lot of bucks, in the print media. And I don't know about mail-outs, but talking about his experience and such. So this is going to be interesting to watch. And on top of that, you've got the issue of an appointed superintendent of education for Coleman County. We've got Ed Henry, Representative Henry from up in Morgan County, saying he's not going to go along with it until we have a seated someone who's won an election and who's going to be able to weigh in on the issue. Well, it only lasts for about, let's face it, even after the May election, there's only about another week left before this session ends. And something's going to have to be done this session. So, I don't know what Ed Henry's, and we are supposed to have him again, aren't we, this Friday? Maybe this time he'll show up. But the thing is, what does he stand to gain by sort of going against, the leadership in Coleman County? Don't understand that either. I can understand his point, but this is unanimous among school board members and among the other legislators. Well, the Coleman County Emergency Management Agency now can use like $91,000 worth of software upgrades and such. They're going to be having to narrow the bandwidth. That's what it's about nowadays, is they're having to put more and more people on a narrower bandwidth so they'll make room for other agencies to use the same frequencies. But what will that do to radios? In terms of like scanners and such, because I didn't read this anywhere in the story. Will the new digital scanners you had to hawk the farm to buy, will they, because we're so expensive, will they pick up this frequency? I believe they probably will, but the story does not explain that. If they go to a different frequency or whatever, then that's certainly going to be an issue that a lot of people would like to weigh in on. In Fayette, Alabama, you probably heard 3 people killed in a house fire over the weekend. And, of course, they found another man dead in his travel trailer in Gadsden. I don't know about you, but we used to have gas heat. We had a tank outside the house. And if there were a natural gas line coming past our house, I'm sure we'd tap into that, but there isn't one. And I'm always afraid of a space heater, really afraid of a space heater. Butterfly McQueen, I'll never forget this story. She was, I remember the slave who said she didn't know nothing about birthing no babies. Butterfly McQueen was one of the last remaining survivors of Gone with the Wind, the movie. And I met her once, but she was in a house and had a kerosene heater going, and it caught fire, and she died in a fire, believe it or not. But it's just so much that comes along now that is dangerous when it comes to using a space heater. And when I leave the room, I unplug that thing. I don't trust an off switch. I unplug mine. And up in Madison, I think social media, Facebook is the catalyst a lot of times for meanness and people getting crazy, whoever posts something on Facebook, if the other person doesn't like it, then they're going to come after them. Police yesterday afternoon had to go to a nail salon. And why is that? Because one woman getting her nails done went out with a guy that this other woman got very jealous about. So what happens is they get into an absolute brawl in a nail salon. I mean, over a dozen people just piled on top of each other. And the lady who started the commotion, they had to use a taser on her, okay? Which makes you wonder, how safe are your daughters and your mothers out there going to these? I know one place in town, in order to relax you, they serve you a glass of wine. Do you really need that in this day and age? Don't know. Stay tuned. More of Today on 2 after this.
At Premier Bank, we're a bit old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Fire, accident, storm, they all happen in Coleman County. And for 3 generations, Night Free Insurance has been there for you. Continuing today with Elliott and Westcott Free, customizing your life, home, auto, and business insurance with auto owners. Call Westcott, Elliott, Judy, Tina, Angie, or Karen. Night Free Insurance, where people are the difference.
Welcome back to Today on 2. It's time to give away our prizes for today, and we have the bag of assorted apples from Steel Orchard. We also have the lunch sandwich and chips from Frosting's Bakery. That is an egg salad, chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah.
They may have egg salad too, but chicken salad is, that's the one to try. Those are the prizes for today. Let's look at our merchant ads, starting with Mr. Hicks Menswear. This is the season for proms. Formal wear tuxedos are available at Mr. Hicks, and of course you can get a top coat if you still need one on a day like today, 1/3 off.
Great price. Tires for Less is more than just tires. They can do oil changes, minor engine repair, shocks, brakes. Go see Greg and the guys at Tires for Less right there on Highway 31 North, just past 157.
Barnett Tax Service. Your tax returns can be done by Miss Elna Barnett. She'll do the electronic filing. She also does bookkeeping for small businesses. The office is on Main Avenue, north of the post office.
And you can get smitten at the Uniform Place. New styles and brands arriving for the season. Uniform Place located 300 2nd Avenue Southeast, right there on the corner of Highway 278 and 2nd Avenue.
The crew at Earl's Body Shop reminds you, move over for emergency vehicles. Local or long-distance towing is available. Of course, auto body repair always at Earl's Body Shop.
Cups Accounting and Tax Service does quality service at very reasonable rates. Check with Cups before you pay too much. They have personal, business, corporate, and farm accounts that they can help you with. Free e-file. Cups Accounting and Tax Service.
Yates Chance Christian Bookstore, the heavenly gift that fits the season. Experience God's message this Easter. Yates Chance Christian Bookstore in the South Coleman Shopping Center.
And People's Tires Brake and Alignment Center. And Tuesdays, ladies get those tire rotations at half price. What a deal. They're located at 1107 Catherine Street in Coleman. And, of course, they can do all kinds of things, too, like oil changes and so forth.
And spring blooms with the colors of Sorelli. Sorelli jewelry available at Doug Doggett Jewelers. New items coming in each and every day. That's why you shop at Doug Doggett Jewelers.
And Deb's Bookstore is your hometown bookstore just down the road where browsers are always welcome. She has gift certificates available, and she sells the used books at half price and new books 20% off every day.
And those are some of the merchant ads. Our question for today is about Baldwin Counseling Center. What is just a phone call away? What can they do with just a phone call? That's Dr. Howard Rogers at the Baldwin Counseling Center. What is just a phone call away? Our prizes today, the bag of assorted apples from Steel Orchard and the lunch sandwich, the chicken salad sandwich.
On a croissant. That looks very good.
You get a lot of chicken on that sandwich, too. That is a good one. That's from Frosting's Bakery. Those are the prizes for today. Our telephone number is 256-734-7399. Remember, just one winner per household within a 30-day period of time. What is just a phone call away, according to the ad about Baldwin Counseling Center? And I think Dr. Rogers is our guest tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, he sure is. He'll be here.
He will be with us tomorrow, and he always surprises us with the topic when he walks in the door.
Yeah, he sure does.
Okay, what is just a phone call away, according to the ad for Baldwin Counseling Center? We get any calls? No? Okay, let's look at that ad and the rest of our merchant ads. Barnett Tax Service, Elna Barnett, serving Coleman for 41 years. No appointment is necessary. Elna Barnett can get your refund a variety of ways by direct deposit, debit card. You can get a check or pick up a check at the office.
And Board and Family Pharmacy, located at 3190 Highway 157, right there at the intersection of Eva Road. The difference is not when you open their bottle, but when you open their door. You can tell definitely they're a good neighbor pharmacy.
Bernard's Gallery and Gifts is an art gallery, and the store has expanded twice the room from what they had before. You can see the entire front of the store there. Bernard's Gallery and Gifts.
Medical Arts Apothecary is a trusted part of your family now for 50 years. Family-owned business, personalized care, making a difference every day. Medical Arts Apothecary, caring for you and about your family.
The Wellness and Aquatic Center has all sorts of fitness opportunities. You can save money and buy a membership, but day passes are available to the Wellness and Aquatic Center.
And there's Baldwin Counseling Center, and guess what? Help is just a phone call away. Dr. Howard Rogers is the man to call. You're having some problems, you need to talk, you want some privacy. He can set up a session with you for the Baldwin Counseling Center.
Auto Tech does foreign and domestic auto repair and service. David Methvin is located on County Road 1354 between the Super Saver and Ridgemont Community Church.
The Mint Oreo Blizzard of the Month is available at Dairy Queen. They can also turn it into a cake if you want.
Mullins Body Shop, you've counted on them over 50 years for auto body repair and towing. You can still count on them today. Mullins Body Shop. Those are the merchant ads. We do have a few birthdays to tell you about. People celebrating on the 26th of March. Here's our birthday list.
Roger Whitley and Robert Martin and John Isaac Richter. And is that Pastor John?
Yes,
that's okay.
And his son.
Oh, that's his son. Okay. And then Kayla Weaver. And so they're all going to be, their names will be put into a hat on Friday, where they have the opportunity of winning an 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
We will continue with more of Today on 2. We have Sonia Norris from Omega Hospice coming up right after this.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
Selling cookies is about
the big picture. You have to have a goal. A big goal. Something you and your team want to do in the world. We choose where the money goes. A trip. An adventure. Helping people out. Helping a lot of people out. And about the money. We are responsible for it. Handling it, managing it, tracking it, doing great things with it.
This is business.
Girl business.
The biggest girl-run business
in the world.
Did you think this was just about cookies?
Sonia Norris has become my new BFF. Didn't know if you knew this or not, Sonia, but Sonia is with Omega Hospice. She is the bereavement coordinator, but she also is involved with Alzheimer's and support groups and things like that, and she has been coming to Westminster now for a while, and I just love Sonia. Every time I call her and ask her, I've asked her for several different favors. She's just Johnny on the spot. She comes to my aid, and I love it. But we appreciate the fact that you are here and that you are a bereavement coordinator. So let's talk about that just a little bit. Tell me what does that mean?
As bereavement coordinator at a hospice, Omega Hospice, I follow the families for 13 months after the death of their loved one, and I provide as little or as much support as they need. I usually go in before the patient passes and just assess for any needs or see if there's going to be any complicated grieving issues, and then just follow the family along and provide that support. It's just part of the continuum of care that hospice provides.
Okay. And it's really good that they have an opportunity to come to Westminster once a week and meet and kind of just, I guess it takes a while after you lose a loved one, even though you're expecting it. If they've been under Omega Hospice care, they've been expecting this probably. But when it happens, it's still very detrimental and
absolutely. You cannot prepare those emotions, even when your loved one is sick, and you may even feel relief that their suffering's over, but you're the one who's left to pick up the pieces. And we have patients whose spouses, they've been married 60-something years, and all of a sudden they're not there. One of them's gone. So that's a huge adjustment for people, and part of the bereavement process is helping people adjust to those losses and basically come to life again. And we really appreciate your space over at Westminster Assisted Living. It's a great space for people who are grieving, who have lost loved ones, to come and share in their loss. And know that they're not alone. That's huge.
Right, yeah. You're also involved with the Alzheimer's, I guess, support group. You're the facilitator. So they also meet, of course, at Westminster, and we kind of wanted to give a little plug for that for people that are interested in coming. Tell us a little bit about when that's going to take place and so forth.
I'm a huge caregiver advocate, obviously, with end-of-life care, particularly Alzheimer's. I've had Alzheimer's in my family, and most of us do. So the caregiver support group meets every third Tuesday at 11 o'clock, and Westminster has graciously agreed to provide lunch for the caregivers. So
at no charge.
At no charge, right? And it's just a chance for the caregivers to get some time away, which is so critical, and because a lot of them don't get any time to themselves. And just to come and share what's worked best, because there's no cookie-cutter approach to caring for someone with Alzheimer's disease.
Right. Well, let's talk about that, because like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people that I know are all concerned because, they can't remember this, they can't remember that. Does that mean I'm going to get Alzheimer's? What are some of the warning signs that really we need to look for a legitimate diagnosis of Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's disease affects people in a variety of ways. The one thing, it's not normal aging. Our brains age just like other organs, some more than others. But the older we get, we're going to have issues with memory. That's normal. Alzheimer's disease is not normal brain aging. It's a fatal and it's a progressive disease.
It actually eats holes in the brain.
It destroys neurons that they'll never work again. And the nuance with Alzheimer's disease is that it affects daily life, and that's very important for people to understand. Is that you have problems with daily living. You can't write checks anymore. You can't recall new information. That's one of the main hallmarks, is the inability to recall new information. Caregivers, family members get very frustrated with asking questions. They ask the same questions over and over, and that's understandable.
Because they forgot that they asked that question.
They don't recall the information. So if you have a family member who's asking the same question over and over and over, that could be a sign. If you have problems, let's say, this time of year we're getting ready for our gardens, we till the soil, we get our seeds together. If you have a person who has loved gardening and all of a sudden they can't really put those thinking patterns together, that might be a sign too. Or they may forget what goes in an omelet that they've made every day for the last 20 years. Issues like that, personality changes, are significant with Alzheimer's disease.
And if they want more information, how can they go about getting that?
Omega Hospice can provide information. Obviously, the Alzheimer's Association is a wonderful resource for people, and you can access anything online. This is the, I brought with me, hot off the press, the 72-page facts and figures for 2013. And Westminster obviously can provide some valid information because you have the Memory Center there.
Right.
But this was striking to me because 1 in 3 seniors will die with Alzheimer's or dementia. And that's a new fact from last year. And that was the most shocking thing. And also, another striking figure here was the long-distance caregiving. 15% of caregivers are long distance, and that's the world we live in now. We're scattered. Our families are scattered across the country and even the world. And this is a concern because that means people with Alzheimer's are left alone.
Right.
So we have to, if you're suspecting anything, some significant memory problems, see your doctor immediately. The sooner, the better. Because there are, you can treat symptoms, you can plan ahead, which is so important.
Right. You can pick out your place where you're going to go.
Right.
You know, you have some input into it. Yeah.
Alzheimer's changes all the rules. None of us wants to place our family members in a nursing home. But the emotional and the physical strains that this disease puts on caregivers is too much to handle. One person cannot handle it, and it does become 24/7 constant care, and it requires 24/7 skilled care. And so I always encourage families to plan ahead. The sooner you know you have this diagnosis, it's such a gift to give your families to be able to say, if I get to the point that I cannot care for myself, then let's, what are we going to do? Do I need to go in a memory facility? These are great places for people because no matter how advanced persons are with Alzheimer's disease, there are some cognitive functioning that remains.
Right.
Places like the Westminster Memory Center, they uncover these, they discover these faculties that remain, and they build on them, and they keep them connected. And it's so important to not isolate persons with Alzheimer's disease.
Sonia, we're all out of time, but if somebody wanted to get in touch with you and talk to you about this, or we come to the bereavement groups or come to the support groups, how do they get in touch with you?
Feel free to call our office at Omega Office 737-1793. I'm happy to talk with any family member, anybody about Alzheimer's disease. Obviously, your phone line's always open to talk with families as well. But feel free to call me anytime. Okay. I'd love to talk with them.
Thank you, Sonia, for being here today. Appreciate it. Okay.
Stay tuned. We have more coming up next.
At Premier Bank, we are very proud of the long-lasting relationships we have with our customers. We'll go almost anywhere to meet your banking needs.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
Now it's time for our community billboards, brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. Your vote counts, and today's the day. If you're in District 11, please go vote. Ready to get in shape for summer? You're invited to attend weekly Take Off Pounds Sensibly meetings known as TOPS, and that's on Tuesday nights at 5:30 in the Basement Recreation Hall of Benedictine Manor. Please call Joe at 256-734-7428. The Red Door Cafe Chili Fest Cook-Off will be taking place on April the 6th from 10 until 3 at the Depot Park. There will be activities for all ages and samples for all ages, and for more information you can visit chilifestincoleman.com. Community-wide Sunrise Easter service will be taking place at the Ave Maria Grotto. Services begin at 6:30 in the morning. You can bring chairs and come celebrate the happiest of mornings. If you have a community billboard you want to share with us, you can email it to channel2coleman@gmail.com, fax it to 256-734-7680, or be a friend on Facebook, Channel 2 Coleman.
The weather forecast brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet. Make the switch to Mitch. Cold and windy again today. Chance of snow flurries, a high of 41. Cloudy tonight, low of 29. Sunny tomorrow, warming all the way up to 49. Winter remains. Who's coming to see us tomorrow?
Dr. Howard Rogers will be here tomorrow, of course, with the Baldwin Counseling Center, and we'll be visiting with him.
Maybe we can ask, how do you deal with winter that never ends?
Thank
you for watching today on 2.
Hope you have a warm day.